salary credited. For a few seconds, everything feels okay. The phone message comes, the account balance looks healthy, the month feels manageable again. But then, the real month begins. One EMI is due tomorrow. Another EMI is due on the 5th. Credit card payment is due on the 9th. The scooter EMI is still going on, and the appliance EMI has a few months left. Suddenly, the salary does not feel like fresh money. It feels like money that was already divided before it arrived. This is the quiet power of EMI. An EMI is not just a monthly payment, it is a small claim on your future salary. One EMI may be completely manageable, but when many small EMIs stack together, your salary starts getting controlled by decisions you made months ago. Let us take a simple example. Imagine a middle-class woman managing a regular household budget. She's not careless with money. She checks bills. She plans groceries. She remembers family expenses, electricity, transport, medicines, small repairs, and monthly payments. She's practical. But every month, pressure starts early. There is one phone EMI, one two-wheeler EMI, one appliance EMI, one credit card bill from last month, maybe one personal loan or consumer durable EMI that looked very small during purchase. Individually, none of these felt dangerous. The phone EMI was only $2,999. The appliance EMI was only $1,850. The credit card conversion was only for 6 months. Every decision had a reason. But salary does not care about reasons. Salary only sees total fixed outflow. This is where EMI becomes tricky. The problem is usually not one payment. The problem is many small payments quietly becoming one large monthly commitment. The simple way to understand EMI is this. When you take an EMI today, you're using tomorrow's salary for today's purchase. Sometimes that is reasonable. A home loan may help buy a long-term asset. A vehicle may help with work and commute. An emergency may genuinely need borrowing. So the point is not that every EMI is bad. The real question is different. Most people ask, can I pay this monthly amount? But the better question is, how much of my future salary is already promised? Because salary freedom is not decided by income alone. It is decided by how much income is still free after fixed commitments. If 100,000 salary comes in, but rent, EMIs, card dues, school fees, insurance, and bills already take a large part of it, the person does not feel like they have 60,000. They feel the pressure of what remains. On paper, income looks fine. In real life, breathing room is small. That is the EMI trap. Not because EMI is automatically wrong, but because it can make future salary feel already spent. Now, the important question is, why do sensible people take too many EMIs? Because EMI changes the way price feels. AR's 60,000 phone feels expensive, but $2,999 per month feels manageable. AR's 45,000 appliance feels heavy, but $3,750 for 12 months feels normal. The brain compares the monthly bite, not the full price. This is basic spending psychology. When a big price is broken into small monthly pieces, the pain of paying reduces. You're not thinking, I'm spending 60,000. You're thinking, it's only $2,999. And that word only is where many salary leaks begin. Only $999, only $1,499, only for 6 months, only for 12 months. But your salary does not experience these as separate emotions. Your salary experiences them as total deductions. One EMI usually does not feel like a trap. It may even feel smart. Instead of paying the full price today, you spread the cost. Cash stays in the account. The purchase becomes possible. Life feels smoother. But the real test comes after the second, third, and fourth EMI. First the phone, then an appliance offer, then a festive sale. Then a credit card bill gets converted into EMI. Then a small loan covers a short gap. None of these decisions may feel extreme alone, but together they create a fixed monthly wall. And once that wall is built, salary has to pass through it every month. Normal spending can be reduced next month. You can order less, shop less, or delay a plan. But EMI is already committed. It does not ask whether this month was easy or hard. It arrives on date. That is why fixed commitments deserve more respect than casual expenses. They reduce choice before the month begins. This is not only one household story. India has also seen household borrowing become more important in recent years. RBI-linked reporting from the December 2025 Financial Stability Report put household debt at around 41.3% of GDP at the end of March 2025. That number should not be used for panic. It does not mean every household is in trouble, but it does show that borrowing is now a serious part of household finance. Another useful trend is retail credit. RBI-backed parliamentary data shows that in 2024 to 25, non-housing retail loans grew faster than housing retail loans. In simple words, borrowing outside home loans like vehicles, cards, consumer durable loans, and other personal loans has been growing strongly. This matters because these are the loans that often show up in daily middle-class life. Phone, scooter, furniture, appliance, credit card conversion, festival purchase. So when a person feels salary pressure because of EMIs, it is not just a personal weakness story. It is also part of a larger credit culture where buying now and paying later has become normal. Credit cards and easy checkout make this even smoother. The screen says, pay later, convert to EMI, no cost EMI available, small monthly payment, instant approval, and the decision happens in seconds. The easier the payment, the less the brain pauses. That pause is important. It gives you time to ask, do I need this? Can I afford the total price? Is this worth reducing my future salary? But when checkout is fast, the pause disappears. A flexible purchase becomes a fixed monthly obligation. This is especially dangerous with credit cards. If the bill feels too heavy, converting it into EMI can feel like relief. But sometimes that relief only reshapes the problem. The pressure moves from one big payment to many small future payments. And because the future feels far away, the decision feels easy today. Now let us talk about no-cost EMI. No-cost EMI is not automatically bad. Sometimes it may help someone manage cash flow. But no cost should not mean no checking. Sometimes the bank charges interest, and the seller gives an upfront discount to adjust it. Sometimes there may be a processing fee. Sometimes GST may apply on fees or interest. Sometimes the buyer loses an upfront cash discount that was available on full payment. So the question is not only, is the EMI zero interest? The question is, what is the total amount I will pay compared with paying upfront? Before choosing no-cost EMI, check 5 things. Product price, total amount payable, processing fee, GST or other charges, and whether you're giving up any upfront discount. If after all that, it still makes sense for your situation, fine. But do not choose it only because the monthly number looks small. The monthly number is only one part of the truth. The real cost of too many EMIs is not only interest. It is monthly freedom. Freedom to save. Freedom to handle one bad month. Freedom to help family without panic. Freedom to leave some money untouched. Freedom to sleep without calculating dates. This is the part people feel emotionally. When salary comes, instead of feeling stable, they start subtracting. This much for rent, this much for EMI, This much for card, this much for bills, this much for groceries. And then the balance looks small. That is when a person says, I earn okay, but I do not know why I still feel stuck. Sometimes the reason is not income. Sometimes the reason is that too much income has already been pre-booked. So what can you do? You do not need to hate EMI. You need to slow down before committing future salary. Before taking any new EMI, ask 5 questions. First, what is the total price, not just the EMI? Second, is this a need, an income-building asset, or a short-lived want? Third, how much of my salary is already fixed before this EMI? Add rent, existing EMIs, card payments, school fees, insurance, and other must-pay expenses. Look at the total. Fourth, would I still want this after waiting 30 days? Many wants feel urgent only during sale time. Fifth, can I handle one bad month with this EMI? A delayed salary, medical expense, family need, job stress, or emergency repair can disturb the budget. If one bad month breaks the plan, the EMI may be too tight. These questions are not about fear. They're about protecting future peace. Here is the simple takeaway. EMI is a tool. It is not automatically good or bad. But every EMI should be treated as a promise made by your future salary. Before saying yes, ask, am I buying this product, or am I selling a part of my next few salaries? That one question changes the decision, because a salary should not arrive already tired. It should not be fully controlled by yesterday's excitement. Some commitments are necessary, some are useful, some are avoidable. The goal is to know the difference before the EMI starts. Because when future salary is protected, present life becomes calmer. And when your salary has breathing room, money stops feeling like a trap.